deplorable.
Yeah.
Except I'm also guilty of it.
Sure. Yeah.
There are many better balls. There's not a lot of worse balls I can think of.
I can name 2 of them that are worse, but
We're no longer friends.
what? I feel like this company should sponsor us by now.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that we've actually kept the cans. By coincidence, the mouth hole has been, oriented towards us, and,
Oh,
the
right.
label has been oriented towards the camera.
That's right.
This is a labeling,
Yep.
happenstance.
Honestly, after seeing that Fiji ad in the product placement in Bullet Train,
Oh yeah,
I was like, we got to follow suit, man.
right.
We're just leaving money on the table.
Hey, it's a good beverage and it's tasty and it's a good value, so
Yeah.
I recommend it.
And I recommend this company pay us to continue using their products on the show.
Or just send them for free, maybe.
We'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll find a way to pay my mortgage with the cans.
I have a surprise gift for you.
I heard. Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, part of it was spoiled by one of our friends today.
Part of it was, but the other part
Is still a mystery.
is still the mystery is still very much in play, and it is applicable to both you and I.
Okay. I'm intrigued. And a little scared.
You should be. You will be.
Ooh. Ominous. Shallow nest beverage?
Swallow nest.
Oh, swallow. I can't read. Swallow nest beverage. Are those
Yes.
instructions? Is it telling
no.
me to swallow this?
No, this is a beverage made from a swallow's nest.
Legitimately?
Yes.
That makes sense because it's like in Chinese.
Yes.
That is Chinese, right?
It appears to be, yes.
Golden Nest Incorporated, that's definitely Chinese. It's a Canada. Oh, they have a Canada distributor. Oh, yeah, it's Hong Kong. Where did you get this?
A discount store that I frequent.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's
Chinese.
Best Buy is 2025, so
Okay.
it's legit.
But usually when something is sold at a discount store, it means it didn't perform well in like a more mainstream.
It was,
or it just,
it was part of like a return,
Right.
From
Right.
a larger quantity.
yeah, there weren't enough people into swallow nests.
Now, I probably should have had these in the fridge,
Oh, God.
but they're room temp, so you're just gonna have to. And we're both gonna have.
Well,
to.
that's how like Chinese people drink stuff is more room temp anyway.
Yeah?
They don't like cold drinks. You try to get an ice water in Taiwan, forget about it.
Okay. Well, it doesn't say anything about temperature on here, so
Okay. You've never had this before?
no, I've never had this.
You're sure that this is definitely from an actual real swallow nest. That's
Yeah.
not just marketing.
Yeah, no, we can look it up.
So this is not vegan.
No.
Okay.
So that's an interesting beverage.
There's little bits of like jelly or something in it.
It's got some texture to it.
Like, is that part of the nest? I'm trying to figure out which part of this is from a bird's nest.
Well, it's an interesting backstory on it. These swallows make nests out of saliva, and then people climb up these really long ladders and harvest the nests. And
You could have told me this before I drank it.
that would have spoiled it.
Okay.
So they clean them up and they process them and they turn them into products like this.
So we're drinking bird spit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why it's chunky?
It's chunky style.
I mean, just at face value, it's not terrible. It just tastes like a sweet kind of honey water type thing.
Yeah. But there is the intellectual knowledge of its origin
Right.
that is somewhat off-putting.
Is there anything that like you like the taste of, but because of the psychology, you're just, I won't eat that?
That's a good question. I think so.
When I was in Korea, I tried this marinated crab, which is like a delicacy over there. Mm-hmm. It's basically crab sashimi.
Okay.
So the crab is like, they're little crabs like that. And you just grab the head and you just squeeze it, and all the guts just squish out.
So you eject the guts through the head.
You eject the guts through the head, and it's just all raw. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you get eggs in there. And
I hate everything about that.
Yeah, and the locals, will just dive right in, right? Just full bite. Mm-hmm. And then they pull it, and it's like stringy, right? Because it's just guts. And it looks like guts, too. I took some and mixed it with rice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as bad. And not as fishy as you might think. But because it was what it was, it was a mental barrier I couldn't get past. And I was like, you know what? I told my girlfriend, you can have the rest. I tried one. That's good.
I mean,
once I ran out of rice, I was like, I ain't eating that raw.
Give it a fair shot.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, this isn't too bad for bird spit.
Yeah. I've been curious about it. I've seen it before, and I thought, hey, why not share this with my pal?
Thank you. I guess. I guess this warrants a thank you.
You're not obligated to finish this.
I'm afraid what the other gifts are now.
Well, fortunately, I think you'll find there's less to fear.
Okay.
Now, do you recognize the branding on this bag?
Razor?
Yeah.
I was like, green, probably tech related. It's got to be Razor. I was going to say this. Look, at first when you pulled it out, I thought headphones.
It is a headphones,
bag.
Yeah.
For some Razor.
I got some Razor
Krakens
headphones
or something. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need this bag.
Right.
So
who needs a headphone bag? No one. I've never used them.
Yeah.
They always come with them. This is a throwback to the episode we talked about my holy socks that I have not replaced in like 10 years.
Yes.
And these ones even have little, what are those? Like little patterns on them.
Yeah, it's you got some options.
They're super soft. That's the brand, super soft.
They're asking you to feel the softness, and I see you're doing that.
I am. I'm pleased with the feel, and they are low cut, which is,
I know that's a crucial.
I prefer that.
That's
my jam. Oh wow, there's more in here too. Ooh, these are even more low cut. I like these even better, and I like the stripies. These are also very soft. Not quite as soft as the super soft, but soft enough. I'm not exactly a diva when it comes to my socks. Damn, there's a lot of socks in here. You like literally clean me. Like I can throw away all my existing socks. Yes. This is enough to last me. Like this is all the these are all the socks I need.
Awesome,
bro. And the Under Armour, name brand socks, dude. Sweet.
What a savings.
What is it by the hammer of
by Grabthar's hammer.
What a saving. Oh man, this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy.
But I will enjoy them.
But
actually.
You do need to commit to purging the unholy or the holy socks.
And it starts now. It starts right now. Actually, these are the one of the few pairs that don't have socks, don't have holes in them.
I saw a hole in that.
Oh, really?
The first one you took off.
There's the hole.
Yeah, there's a hole
right on the bottom. Damn.
Now I'm a little afraid that now you're prepared to poop.
What?
Your socks are off.
Fortunately, I did that right before we started filming, so I don't think I got another one in the chamber.
Okay, but we're putting the safety back on, so that's good.
Look at that. These are actually very nice. Is this what normal socks feel like?
Could it be?
I think it could. Yeah. These are approved.
All right, nice.
I'm signing off on all of these. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I hope you will continue to enjoy them, and your shoes will continue to enjoy.
Oh yeah,
isolation from your feet.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was the gift that our friend Maria spoiled earlier today. we were just hanging out with some friends, and she dropped the ball on that one. Didn't realize that you hadn't given me the socks yet. And so everyone in the comments, everyone leave in the comments, boo Maria. Everyone boo Maria in the comments for being a spoiler alert. Boo.
In fairness, I don't know that. Are you just gonna continue heaping trash?
No, I'm done for now. They'll take it from here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. In fairness, I don't know that I made it clear that it was a spoiler. So
okay, all right. Now we're gonna boo her anyway.
Okay,
It's fun. She probably deserves it. Okay, we have a new section, a new segment for this episode that we haven't done before.
I'm scared.
This is one of the ideas that we were talking about doing for a while, which was pulling up old photos of us from high school.
Yeah.
I guess I'll...
Oh, you have way better terrible photos than I do.
Yeah, mine are bad. Mine are really bad.
Oh.
You ready for this? My mom sent me all these. I was like, Mom, give me the most embarrassing photos you have of me from high school.
Oh, there's the egg white on your head.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there. So this is June 17th, 2005. 18 years ago. So I was 17 years old.
Okay, so what is this from?
These are like yearbook photos, I think.
Why did you get a whole wall of yearbook? Oh, you took multiple takes.
I think they just said, like, do some crazy ones, do some funny poses, or do whatever you want. There was some serious, like, smile. That's like the mom photo, right? With the one for mom. And the other ones are like, all right, dick around.
And of course, the drama nerd comes out.
The drama nerd came running out of me. So extra. I'm being so extra here. I love this one, the top right. I just like it's that blue steel, blue steel Magnum look from Zoolander. Like I'm trying hard to look cool.
And you know what? That's totally. You can totally tell, like, using that angle.
Yeah.
Is like a MySpace angle. Like if you compare that to the middle picture,
right,
you can see it totally changes the shape of your face profile.
Right, exactly.
So you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I look, in the top right one, I look like I'm like an amateur model, but in this one, I look like I'm like Chris Hansen's about to tell me to take a seat. It's not great, but I've always made these stupid animated faces. There's another one. I was surprised, actually, how many of these photos my mom sent where I'm like on a date, or it's like it was a school dance. I forgot that I actually went to a few school dances with actual girls.
Not robots.
Not robots. We didn't really have them back then. They weren't as accurate. So you had to find a real girl, which was pretty difficult.
It was,
especially for this is the best. Look at that. Like, first of all, I was a thick boy. You could tell my mama fed me well.
You were husky.
She fed me. She still feeds me really well, but there's a bit more distance between us, so I can control it a bit more. But back then, I stood no chance.
Yep.
And I thought maybe if I spike my hair like Sonic the Hedgehog, it'll mask some of that. But no, not really. We were talking about this earlier today with our friends, using the ice glue.
Yeah.
Hair stuff, the hair product.
I started using that back in, I don't know, 7th grade for Liberty Spikes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And then
Spikes.
It just lived in my cupboard, or
rent free.
Yeah. My bathroom cabinet for years after that.
Yeah. Look at this expression on my face. Like, I almost look like I'm like raising my eyebrows. I kind of look like I'm like, what up? Like, you see me with this girl. You see me touching grass.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
Yeah.
Dude, what a little player.
I concur. That's pretty impressive.
Look at this one. How did I get these females to go to a dance with me?
How did you?
Insane. They must have been desperate. Look at my hair. I had dyed just a random patch of my hair, very asymmetrical. It looked like I cracked an egg yolk on my head. It was just that area. It's
weird because I was just going through high school memories today and realizing they're very fuzzy to non-existent for the most part.
Yeah.
But I for some reason, I actually think I remember your hair being that way. I remember seeing your hair that way. Yeah.
Because it wasn't for that long. I only dyed it once. I didn't like keep re-dyeing it or anything. It was just for a flash. But I think this was senior year.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. It just looks familiar.
Yeah, this was prom, and I look so weird without facial hair now.
You know what? Facial hair is a gift.
Honestly, it is. Because if I shaved right now, I'd look exactly the same. I'd look exactly like I do in that photo, except my hairline would be about an inch back. Everything else would be exactly the same. This was in a play. I was in a play.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Well, on the right. That's me on the left. I went through an awkward phase when I was 6.
I was like, where did you get a cigarette?
It was a prop cigarette, and I felt so cool with it. I remember just like, I'm smoking on campus.
Cigarettes are cool, dude.
They were so
everybody
cool.
knows that in high school.
I felt so badass.
Yes.
Which one were you talking about? This photo? I look like a serial killer in this one.
Yeah, you got the crazy eyes.
I got the crazy eyes. You know what I look like in this photo? I look like a guy who goes to dance class. Like a guy who's like really into tango for some odd reason.
I can see that.
I look like a tango fanatic.
Or some kind of fanatic that I don't want to learn more what your fanaticism is about.
I look like the type of guy that would hold a rose in his mouth just with that exact expression.
Oh, you could definitely hold a rose in your mouth with that expression.
Yeah.
I can see
That's
happening.
the rose holding face.
I mean, fortunately you got a rose, flower pin to your jacket.
Right, yeah.
You could pop that off and put it in your mouth and
Yeah. No, really? The entire time I was on with this girl, she was probably just like trying to blink in Morse code, like, please save me. Someone get me out of here. All right, let's see yours.
Now mine, you'll notice a total absence of womenfolk. And that is because I never went to a single high school dance.
But hey, you rocked that ROTC uniform. Damn, you look so young.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, you look exactly the same in high school as you do now. Like I've always thought like Ian doesn't age, but man, you look so different.
So you're saying I look old?
No, not old. Because you still have a very youthful, kind of boyish face, kind of like me. We both do, I think.
And that's what I need my beard for.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, if you shaved, actually, you'd probably look a little bit closer to this. But we were in, Ian and I were in ROTC together. NJROTC.
Yeah, look how
in
shiny that belt buckle is.
Yeah. If it wasn't shiny, First Sergeant would let you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
The hair.
Yeah, I think I was just screwing around with selfies and going, hey, my hair is huge. This is great.
I didn't realize we kind of had the exact same hair, just different color.
Well, you have a natural curl to you.
That's true. Yours is perfectly straight, isn't it?
It is, annoyingly so. But otherwise, it's very similar in that regard.
See, this is the hair I always wanted. I wanted super straight hair. I always hated having slightly wavy hair. Because I couldn't do all the emo kids, they would use straighteners and actually straighten their hair.
Like chemical straighteners?
Yeah. Wait, what's chemical straightener?
Like if you have wavy or curly hair, you use like harsh chemicals to force the hair into being straight.
I don't know about that, probably, but I saw a lot of them would just use like an actual straightener, like a hair straightener, right? Like the ceramic.
Like it's like a physical device that's holding their hair straight.
Right. Like my mom's got one.
Huh.
Well, it doesn't hold their hair straight. It's like it uses 2 ceramic plates that heat up, and then they run their hair through it.
Oh, okay.
And it literally just straightens it completely.
The reverse of a curling iron, whatever that is.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, but some kids didn't have to do that because they had hair like yours, and I was always envious of that.
Well, I don't like my hair. It's a lot of work if it's long, and it looks okay if it's short, so I keep it short.
Yeah. I don't like short hair on me because it makes my already round face look even rounder. So having longer hair sort of elongates my face a little bit more, I've noticed. Okay. Maybe it's just me, but
you do you, man.
People used to call me ping pong ball.
Oof.
When I would like do buzz cuts like in ROTC.
Yeah.
Like, you look like a ping pong ball.
Ouch.
Yeah. I was like, out of all the balls out there,
ping
pong's like bottom of the list, man. It's the bottom ball. There's so many better balls out there.
There are many better balls. There's not a lot of worse balls I can think of.
I can name 2 of them that are worse, but that's about it. Oh, this is the cool picture.
This is
Every single person who has ever lived has of themselves at this age.
Yes.
You're what, 17 here? 16, 17 maybe.
A lot of these are actually potentially post high school, but because I was so immature, I consider them eligible for high school days.
Same group, same era.
So pseudo affliction shirt maybe, and bathroom selfie.
Yep.
To be cropped down for social media, which I don't think I ever did, and the beginnings of some facial hair.
Oh yeah, right.
But
just peeking out.
Nothing super effective.
Right. In this photo, you look like you could have easily been a bully.
I was a bully.
You were?
I bullied you.
See, you were a bad bully then, because I never noticed you bullying me.
I was a nice bully.
Is that a thing?
I guess.
Are you even a bully if you're nice?
I was just like taking out like repressed anger on you and just treating you impolitely.
Because here's a fun fact about Ian and I. We've known each other since high school, but Ian hated me when we first met. When we first started like hanging out, because we had mutual friends, you hated me. You couldn't stand me. Understandably so. I was that obnoxious, really annoying, loudmouthed kid. And you were just like the quiet, like, you were devious in your own ways, but much less annoying and just a lot more mature than I was, I think, at that age. Just explain a bit about your hatred of me at the time.
I guess I had been, held back in my social development through high school, and I had experiences with being bullied, I guess mildly, on the grand scale of things in the past. And for some reason, I identified you as somebody who would put up with me treating you very impolitely. and
you're like, I could get away with this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And
you would be right, because I was just aloof and I could take a lot without even really realizing.
Yeah, and you had done several things that I was peeved about, and I was just like
what?
Okay,
just go all in. Like, we'll edit it out if it's gonna get me canceled.
I think the main one that I remember was we went to see a movie, and I had a I want to say Flip, which was the first HD camera that ever came out, that was like cell phone sized. And first we went to the theater and somehow you lost your ticket. We had to go back out and find your ticket. And then we went back into the theater and you had this high definition digital video camera in the lobby of the theater, waving it around like, oh, this is so cool, blah, 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 blah.
Was I vlogging or something? Just
no.
Filming stuff? No.
You were just waving it around, and I was like, dude, they're gonna think that you're trying to pirate the movie and kick us out.
Right, yeah.
Put it away.
Yeah. Oh, man. Was it my camera or yours?
I think it was mine.
Okay. So not only was I doing the stupid thing, I was doing it with your shit. You're like, first of all, give me my fucking camera back. And second, let's not get kicked out of the movie we just paid to see.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm in my own little bubble, my own little world.
You did have a special bubble world you lived in.
It was pretty thick. It was a thick bubble. It was pretty dense. Yeah, no, that sounds like me, and I totally understand why I wasn't everyone's cup of tea.
But in spite of that, I think I never was really malicious to you. I was just I've never really been an asshole to people, you know?
Right, yeah.
That's not my style.
Yeah, exactly.
But for some reason I found that I could let myself be an asshole to you.
Right.
And that neither of us were really negatively affected by it.
Yeah.
And for me, it was somewhat, freeing and a sort of a positive experience because I was letting out some pent up emotion.
Right. You just kind of like lightly troll me, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
I wouldn't always catch on.
I look back on it as bullying, but it was light trolling.
Because I can't even think of a single time when I felt wronged by you, or I can't believe Ian did that.
Well, you're very forgiving.
Yeah, and just very naive, completely clueless. Also,
yeah.
What else we got in here? You're so white. God, you're so white.
Yep. Always have been. Can't do much about it.
You're cross to bear.
Okay.
Are you Raiden from Mortal Kombat in here?
I'll have you know that I think those hats are awesome.
Those are fun. They're fun hats. They protect you from sun.
If you zoom in, you can see a small brown object on the bottom right.
Oh yeah, I do see it. What is that? Is that? It looks like an acorn.
It's a bedpost. See how there's like a little nipple on the top of it?
I do see the nipple, yeah.
It used to be a ball, like a discrete little carved ball.
Okay, yeah.
But when I was a kid, I liked the taste of that wood, and I chewed on it.
You ate it?
I chewed on it.
So how much bigger was the ball before that?
I don't know, like 4 millimeters. I don't know.
I'm just imagining you like kneeling on your bed, leaning over this bedpost and gnawing on the ball. Is that how you do it?
I mean, it was just about head height at that point, I think. So, or I was standing on my bed. I don't know, but yeah, I remember the taste of that wood and stain in particular as being quite good.
The stain. That can't be good for you.
It probably wasn't, and that was.
You look like you're high on a bedpost right now. You are in so much paint stain and.
I did that chewing on wood thing when I was much younger,
okay.
But I found that this particular picture had that backstory in its context.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought that was fun.
That's great. What is this? Do I dare play?
You can play that. Yeah.
Well, and then I squeezed the... Well, actually, I didn't squeeze it on purpose. I was just twisting around. And it just burst.
What burst?
The packet of ketchup.
Where?
All over the car.
All over the car? Where else?
The inside of the car.
Yeah, where else?
Right here.
I see. Very nice. So what were you thinking when you squeezed the ketchup pack?
Not really anything sensible.
Not anything sensible.
You weren't thinking.
Yeah. Sort of like one of those no-think cases.
What the dude? Oh my god, that's good. Just the look on your face, the level of excitement of making something explode
Oh yeah.
is through the roof. You've never been happier. You're like, are there other things I can explode?
This was not the first thing or last thing I exploded.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. I know it wasn't. This is the look of a serial killer. Did you hear about the... we're getting into some debate topics now. Did you hear about the Elon versus Zuckerberg fight?
I did hear about that.
Who would win?
I have to assume Zuckerberg. He is younger, and I think he's more fit and has possibly punched something before in his life that wasn't a wall out of anger.
Hopefully not a woman.
Yeah. Although I doubt that it would happen because Elon likes to talk a lot of shit and then back out together.
I mean, it'd be great if it actually happened, if this fight happened. I think the world would tune in.
They could put it on pay-per-view.
I think they were estimating like it would generate like over $1 billion or something for the single fight.
That's a very Elon number.
Yeah, it is. And I agree with you. I think Zuck would win.
But here
Elon does have some mass on him though, but he's
Yeah.
probably a lot slower.
yeah, and I don't think that that's functional mass.
Yeah, he's got McDonald's mass.
Yeah. I think if it did happen, though, regardless of who was declared the winner, I think everybody would win because either one of these people getting
The shit kicked out of him.
would be enjoyable to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Elon just doesn't take anything seriously. I feel like he would just make the whole thing a meme. He'd try to make it as memeable and hilarious as possible. He'd make it more entertaining, perhaps, but Zuckerberg would probably like train for it,
Yeah.
and like take it seriously and like practice jiu-jitsu and shit for it.
I agree.
I hope it happens. I want to see these guys bleed really badly,
Just because of who they are.
just because they're billionaires.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to see a billionaire get their ass kicked? We just saw one die in a submarine or a submersible.
Was he a billionaire?
He was a billionaire.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was a upstart innovator CEO, but I didn't realize he was that wealthy.
I think he was a billionaire. That's what all the headlines were saying. I didn't
okay.
actually read through the articles. I just took the headlines for truth.
That's
As you do.
that's the age we live in.
Yep.
I understand.
Yep. All right.
My money's on Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
If
let's
it
go,
happens.
let's go for Zuck. What do you guys think? Let us know. What's the appropriate limit? Is there an appropriate limit on free samples? What is that limit? Let's say ice cream. You go to Baskin Robbins, they give you free samples. Technically, there's no official limit on how many you can take or request, but is there a unspoken law, an unwritten rule for how many free samples?
I think there's
You can take.
for myself. I would probably then arbitrarily apply that to other people.
Sure.
And if I saw somebody going and trying 20 different flavors, I would judge them.
Okay. The appropriate number of free samples is how many on the count of three? 1, 2, 3, 3.
6.
6?
I'd say 5 to 6. Like
Damn.
that's like a hard upper limit. I would usually say find something that I'm gonna go for it. By 3.
Right.
But I wouldn't be looking down on myself if I went up to 6.
Okay. Have you done that before? Have you gone up to 6?
I think I've gone up to 4 or 5.
Okay. All right. 6 is the cutoff for you.
Yeah.
Man.
You max out at 3.
I usually max out at 3. I always try to make a decision after my third. If I get to 3 samples, I'll just make a decision. Even if I didn't like any of the 3, I go, you know what? Then I'm just going to go with the flavor that I know I like.
That's a good system.
Yeah.
And I think I usually do something similar, but I'm pretty sure I've asked for at least a 4th sample.
Maybe it's like underlying like part of my anxiety, right? Because it's like then I start to get self-conscious. Like, does this ice cream worker hate me because I'm that guy? I don't want to be that guy that's just sampling every single flavor. And especially if there's like a line, if there's someone waiting behind me, am I also that guy to that person? Like, oh, this fucking guy.
All right,
He's
question.
gonna sample the whole goddamn store.
If you work at Baskin Robbins,
Yeah,
your life already sucks.
true.
So is it going to suck more if you're getting free samples for somebody while other people wait in line?
It's not gonna matter too much to him. I mean, it's all in my head.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, no one really cares probably.
But it is a genuine question if you have worked at a Baskin Robbins or similar situation.
Sure.
Did your day suck more because you had to give somebody extra free samples versus just getting them their thing and moving on to the next person?
You know, I think it depends on the person, and also it depends on you as well, right? It's like you could have someone who's really sociable, talkative, and nice, who's asking for 5, 6, 7 samples, but if they're cracking jokes and just like, how's your day going, or whatever, I think that's different than the guy who's like, oh, I want that one, let me try that one, and let me try that one, and just kind of like, bossing them around a little bit, just kind of being rude.
I can recognize the difference.
Right.
Yeah, I also don't want to be seen as that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. There is a limit to free samples in terms of what I apply to myself.
Right. And I also don't want to be like overly fake and like that. I don't want to be like try to make best friends with the ice cream guy. So like I have about 3 free samples of niceness. You know, that's about as nice as I can get.
Okay.
You know, in that moment.
What about free samples at a trade show? Like let's say you go to a trade show and they have free samples of like a full size of a consumable product.
That you kind of just take and bounce. Like it's like sealed, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what is it? Just like in a bowl? Like they just leave it out there?
Mm-hmm. Or it could be. Okay, so I say this because I've been at a trade show where I've seen people just taking things out of a display.
Oh shit!
Like not even
that aren't even free samples.
They're not even meant to be free samples.
Those aren't even.
The
That's
funniest,
just stealing. That's just theft.
The funniest part is when it's just empty bottles.
And they take the empty bottles.
Yeah, because they're just scooping,
Free
moving
stuff.
and scooping.
People are animals at conventions.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you give them free anything,
Yeah.
people go ape shit over free stuff. It doesn't even matter. Like it's just like consumerism and capitalism. Like we're just wired to consume. Even if we don't need it, don't want it.
It could be
We'll take it.
defective pens that will leak.
Right.
And you would still see people scooping
yeah.
up handfuls
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuffing them in their trade show bags.
Yeah. Like, or it's like, shirts, but all they got is like 3XLs. You're like, I'll take 5. You know what I mean? It's like, you're never going to wear those.
I'm gonna
you
make
don't
a
know
quote.
anyone who's going to wear those.
Yeah.
But I would say in that scenario, if there's a bowl of, like, let's say granola bars, right? And they're packaged and sealed, 2. 2's the limit. You and a +1. Maybe you're with someone or whatever. Once you get into 3, then it's like, that's a lot. 3 samples per person.
And what if they're half
You're
size?
draining them dry. Then if they're half size, then I would say 3 to 4. 4 might be pushing a little bit. Maybe 3 to 4 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah. These are just my arbitrary rules.
I mean, that's what we mostly live by in this
Exactly.
society.
That's what this is about, baby. That's it. All right. I'm glad we solved the world's issue with free samples. Moving on to the next one. Double dipping. Is it acceptable or deplorable? Double dipping. Let's say you're at a party.
So define double dipping.
Double dipping would be, let's say there's a veggie tray.
Yeah.
And there's like a bowl of ranch.
Yeah.
Can you double dip in that bowl? And double dipping meaning you dip some celery in there, celery stick, take a bite, and then you dip again.
Okay. I would disapprove of that.
Yeah.
Now, the question I have for you is, if I took, let's say I have a particularly long celery stick.
Go on.
Okay. And I dip one end in the ranch, bite it, and flip it.
Right.
And so now I'm not dipping the bitten end.
Sure.
Is that double dipping?
But you're still now dipping the part that your hand was touching,
Yes.
which could be worse, depending on what you touched that day.
A lot of celery. Okay, so that would also be double dipping, and just confirming.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deplorable,
Yeah.
except I'm also guilty of it.
Sure. Yeah. I'm definitely guilty of the what you just described, flipping it.
Yes.
I kind of have enough, maybe just self-awareness or self-shame to not do the straight, full-on double dipping.
Like,
with
I
the
just
bite.
take a big bite out of it.
The bite double dip?
Dunk that.
Right.
Rebite. Yeah.
Right. But I have been known to flip. I'm a flipper. I'm a flipper dipper.
Okay.
I think it's like anything else. It's contextual. It's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's like it depends on who's there too.
Yeah.
How close to you are you with these people?
Right.
Right. It's like you're some acquaintances, meeting some people for the first time, or is it like your most core intergroup circle of friends?
Right.
And it also depends on like if there's like little plates. That's like kind of like, hey, asshole, use the fucking plate, put the ranch on the plate,
Right.
and do it that way. But if there's no plate,
then circumstances demand that you
Right.
you get your dip how you can.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it makes more sense in my head, at least at first glance, to just do the flipper dip instead of doing the bite dip.
Yeah, I won't do the bite dip.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
Right. Yeah. Even though it might not be any more or less sanitary, I think it's just a psychological thing. It's like I'm spitting in the bowl.
Yeah,
It feels like it's like the equivalent of that.
That's the difference. It's like, because chances are somebody fumbled through that celery already with their hands.
Right.
But it's weird because there's this phenomenon where when something goes in your mouth, it's fine.
That's what she said.
As soon as it comes out of your mouth, it is unholy.
Right, yeah.
And that
It's tainted.
Yes, and that taint is associated with the bitten end.
Yeah.
So you flip it and you dip the unbitten end
Right.
to avoid that taint.
Yeah.
And the only boundary that you're pushing is
Sure.
that, you had touched that part of the celery.
Right. Ooh, idea though. If it is a long celery stick that we're dealing with,
A particular
particularly long celery stick, because you're not going to double dip something unless it's worth more than one bite, right?
Right.
So if it is that long,
You could hold it by the center.
or you could snap it in half and then dip
that-
one each.
That's
That's not, then you're clean.
yeah, that's innovative. I don't know that I've arrived at that conclusion myself. Celery doesn't always snap that clean.
It doesn't. A carrot would be easier, but usually people aren't serving up massive carrots on a veggie tray.
No, they're baby carrots. They're a single bite. They're single dip.
Micro carrots. Yeah.
Micro. Yeah, I ate 20 micro carrots today.
So far, I think we've agreed on. Okay, we didn't agree 100% on the free sample, to some degree, but so far we've been pretty aligned.
Yeah.
With these issues. Here's the one that may very well divide us forever, and it's an age-old, timeless question: pineapple on pizza. Is it a gift from God, or is it?
I'll put it like this. I don't pursue it. I don't endorse it, but I tolerate it.
Okay. So it's kind of lukewarm to you.
I realize the polarity of the issue, and I'm intentionally taking a politically correct stance.
Wow. It is that big of a deal. I mean, this could make or break friendships.
Yes.
So, in the same vein, it's never something that I order.
Yeah.
I'll never vote for pineapple on pizza.
Right.
I have a bunch of other options that I like far more.
So many.
But if there's pineapple on pizza, like at a party, it's just sitting there, I'll grab one of those.
If
I'm definitely getting the pep. Mm-hmm. Definitely getting the pep.
Yeah.
Definitely getting if there's like a margarita. Oh. But if there's a pineapple, especially if it's got like pineapple and jalapeno, it's got a little bit of spiciness to sort of, it's like spicy sweet and spicy. With the savory tomato
why do I
sauce.
never find pineapple and jalapeno pizza?
Maybe that's because, I don't know.
Where are you finding it?
I don't know. I've come across it a couple times. And it's like a really good combo.
Okay, so I would say if I'm in that setting and I'm hungry and I find pepperoni, I'm going to choose that preferentially. But if it's down to the ham and pineapple or the pineapple and whatever, I'll eat it. It's not my first choice, but I'll utilize it.
I actually hate the Hawaiian pizza more. Like the
ham and pineapple.
I hate the ham pineapple combo more than just if it were just pineapple on its own. The ham,
Really?
Yeah, the ham. I'm not a huge fan of ham on pizza. It just seems like discount pepperoni. It's like, knowing that there's a far superior meat that could be replacing this right now.
Yeah.
And it's so accessible. It bums me out. The ham bums me out.
I think the ham and pineapple thing is trying to do like a sweet and savory thing, but it doesn't really hit on the savory part.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
And so I agree. I don't care much for ham and pineapple, but if it's the only sustenance at hand, then I will partake.
Next time we gotta get pizza, I'll do pineapple and jalapeno. You let me know what you think. Maybe we'll try it. We'll try it on stream, or we'll try it on the show.
Now, would you do pineapple jalapeno and consider adding maybe grilled chicken?
I don't like chicken on pizza.
We're no longer friends.
What? I don't like chicken on pizza. Now this is more divisive than the pineapple thing. I don't do chicken on pizza.
Wow.
It's too.
Wow.
I think it's just so filling and heavy to me. Like it's just like too much meat, too much protein.
It's a lot of mass.
It is a lot of mass. And it's like you already got the dough there.
Yeah.
And like the pepperoni's nice because it's thin. It's like thinly sliced. But the chicken is just like, and it like chicken, it can just be sort of, it's too much to chew for me.
Okay.
And sometimes it's dry, you know?
All right, but I the only time I'll advocate for chicken on pizza is there's a very few number of cases, but one of them is barbecue chicken pizza.
Not a fan of the barbecue. I guess I'm sort of a pizza purist in some ways where it's got to be red sauce.
Okay.
I can't do I'm not a huge fan of the Alfredo or the white sauce, the cream.
Like garlic chicken.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because that doesn't taste like pizza to me. It tastes like a breadstick with some pasta sauce, which is what pizza is.
You
mainly.
analyze the shit out of your food, man.
I have a hard on for marinara. I love my marinara so much more than any kind of white sauce. It really does. And so I think that just naturally goes better with certain toppings. And chicken is definitely a white kind of sauce topping.
I agree.
Or barbecue sauce. It's just a non-marinara sauce.
Marinara and chicken.
Yeah. Nah.
Okay.
It's like a chicken parmesan or something like that. But yeah.
Have you actually tried that?
Yeah. Not my favorite.
Okay.
Which tracks.
Yeah, that's
kind of
fair.
tracks. Yeah.
Okay. So interestingly, we're both tolerant of pineapple on pizza. Mm-hmm. But we differ strongly when it comes to chicken on pizza. And the difference is I'm not as driven by a love of marinara as I am a love of stuffing my face. Mm. And I love me some heavy slices of loaded up barbecue chicken, bacon pizza.
Right.
And that doesn't sound right to you, and I understand that, but that's just that's my lifestyle.
There is one exception. There's been one time in my life where I obsessed over barbecue sauce on pizza, and it was when I was in college, and it was a place called Pizzasaurus Rex. That was the name of the restaurant.
A cool ass name.
So fucking cool. And they had the option to swap out marinara for their in-house barbecue sauce. And it was so good. It was almost like a Sweet Baby Ray's type of barbecue sauce. Mm-hmm. And I would just get that with pepperoni. And it was like thin crust, almost like New York style.
Yeah.
With this really good barbecue sauce. And it was like light barbecue. It wasn't like splattered, with like, it wasn't just overdone.
It wasn't an ocean of barbecue.
But it was so flavorful at the same time. And like kind of sweet. And the pepperoni with it, they just did it right, man. They did it right. But ever since then, I've never found a barbecue sauce pizza where I'm like, I like this. I'm going to get this again. It's never happened since then.
It's a lost love.
Yeah.
It's
tragic.
That's a sad story. I wonder if Pizzasaurus Rex still exists.
Well, I'll check on that. Who would make the better roommate? Cats or dogs? I kind of want to phrase this. I'm sort of phrasing this question as in if cats and dogs took human form.
Okay, well,
based on their personalities.
That is a radical rephrasing of it.
Yes. Sorry, I should have specified that. And actually, I had to think about how I wanted to phrase this question at first, because there's obviously multiple ways you could interpret it. But I'm thinking it's more fun to sort of, hypothesize about.
We're talking like
they're humans.
Anthromo. You know the word. I'm not going to try to pronounce it right now.
Yeah, anthropology. I got you, boo.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So here's my thought on it. I think dogs would be a hassle because they're needy. It's like having a needy, clingy roommate. That's like the second you get home from work, they're like, "Hey, where you been? What's up? You want to go hang out? You want to do something?" And it's like most of the time I'm just like, if I'm living with someone, it's like, just leave me. Like, personal space is big, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like a dog would give you no personal, like a human dog would give you no personal space. They'd always be up in your grill in a friendly way. They'd be really nice about it.
Yeah.
But it'd be like, "Oh, dude, this guy's just like, he won't leave me alone."
Yeah.
But at the same time, a cat roommate would be a dick. They'd kind of just be a lot less considerate.
Would they be considerate at all?
No, they would use your shit. They would break your shit.
Yeah.
And they would give no fucks.
Yeah.
Whereas a dog, you wouldn't have any of those issues, but you would just never be left alone. And you would have to sort of give them attention.
So you have to choose between constant test of your patience or constant test of your willingness to not beat them up for ruining your stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I would say dog.
Yeah.
At least they're loyal.
I think I would go with dog too in the end because at least the vibes would be good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With a cat, there'd be bad vibes in the house. Bad juju. You know? Yeah. There'd be tension.
Like, you look at them the wrong way, it's on.
Sucks. Yeah, right. Yeah, they just scratch your eyes out.
Or give you the old piss disc.
Shit on your bed.
No,
what's the piss disc?
I don't know. It's you take piss and you freeze it in like the shape of a CD or a vinyl record, and then you can, when it's frozen like that, you can slide it under somebody's door. So that
you just piss in their room, basically.
Yeah.
That's genius.
That's some old college prank shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
God. So many stupid people are so smart. It's like that guy should be trying to cure cancer. Whoever thought of that? You know, like, dude, you're wasting your talents.
He probably was somebody very intelligent in a fraternity who, you know, could have been a world changer, but created the piss disc.
That was his life.
Now in high definition.
That's the type of guy that you like everyone in a frat just worships, like he is a god.
Mm-hmm. Because he holds claim to a critical piece of intellectual property for that fraternity.
It becomes part of their tradition. It's just in their fraternity for generations. Mm-hmm. And they've got a picture of this guy hanging above the mantle in the frat house. They still got the first piss disc he ever made still in the freezer.
A cat roommate would piss disc you.
They definitely would.
You lock your door, they're gonna find a way to piss in your room. They're gonna find a workaround.
I was throwing a party for my birthday once. This was a few years back, and I had to put the cats in my bedroom because people were going in and out of the house. Didn't want them getting loose and getting killed by a coyote or something. And I put their litter box, their food, their water, everything in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I went in to check on them. They pissed and shit on my bed, 2 feet away from the litter box.
Both of them?
Probably. They both look guilty. Even if only one of them did it, the other was an accomplice. You know, they both had a hand in it, a paw in it,
an anus in it,
a lot of things in it. I was like, really? On my birthday?
Happy birthday. That's a cat roommate for you again, I guess.
Yeah. I'm already living it. Then I'll try dogs next time.
At least you don't have the like a pile. If you have a pile of laundry that gets pissed on.
Yeah, right. That's happened.
Oh, that's happened. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, that's happened.
Never mind.
I've had them piss in a suitcase, like a luggage, you know, like on wheels. One of the wheelers.
Was it empty or full?
It was. There was some clothes in it.
Okay.
And I left it on the floor with it open. And so it just looked like a litter box, to them.
Oh.
And one of them jumped in. It was probably the girl. And like, I was just like, why does it smell like piss? And like, I'm doing that thing where I'm like just checking like a bloodhound, and I go to the suitcase. I'm like, she pissed in the freaking suitcase. I just threw it out, man, because there's no real way to get it out in that situation.
Not.
You can't throw a suitcase in the wash or take it to the dry cleaners. I was like, this thing's done.
Yeah,
it's done. I'm not gonna bother with this. I'll buy another one.
Yeah,
a dog would never do that.
No, I mean they would piss on the floor,
right?
But
which is a courtesy, I think.
I mean, they wouldn't. Like cats will be intentional. Like they'll take a shit in your shoes.
100%. Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing.
Especially if like whatever you fed them late or something, or locked them in your bedroom.
How dare you?
How
dare you?
They're mean.
Confine us this way. Yeah, no. Dog roommate.
Yep, dog roommate all the way. Agreed.
A lot of maintenance, but a lot less feces. Well, let me tell my Boba story.
Okay, yeah.
Because this actually goes back to high school stupid / cringy things.
I'd love to hear it.
So for some reason I went through this phase of getting, and I don't actually recall where I was getting boba tea, but I was getting boba tea. And I would take the boba balls and dry them off a little bit, like get a little bit of the excess moisture, because I wouldn't eat them all. I didn't feel like eating them all. I would have those left over. Yeah, it's a lot of balls in your mouth. Yeah. It's like I can only like 30 balls at a time.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's my rule.
So I would take these balls and shoot them as like spitballs, basically.
Sure. Yeah. Through the straw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what I would do is just being a dick, sitting around at lunch, and I would shoot these and stick them to people's backpacks. And it's just like, it's something fun to do, like moving target.
Yeah.
Track the target. Boom. Nailed it. Excellent.
That's so good because it's like you're fucking with people, but they have no idea. So it's like completely like non-confrontational.
Yeah.
And it's like you're kind of gamifying it too. Like, moving targets.
And it's not, and I got pretty damn good at shooting boba balls.
Right.
And it's a low harm kind of tomfoolery.
You're not gonna get in any real trouble for it.
You know, worst case scenario, I hit somebody in the eye.
Did you?
No.
Oh, that would have been funny.
But that I can't think of a worst case scenario than that.
You have really. That mean you'd have a really bad aim. Yeah. You were aiming for a backpack and you got the eye.
They were like tacky, so they would just like bloop, stick to the backpack.
Yeah.
And then, eventually they would just dry, and they would just, if you tapped it, would have fall off.
Did no one see you doing this? Were you like hiding in a bush?
No, I was just sitting there like chilling with some friends.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. I went through a solid like month of doing that during lunch.
A month? That was just your thing. That was like your pastime, your favorite pastime for a while.
At least a few weeks.
You were always the guy. You were always the kid who was always up to no good, but nobody knew it.
Yeah.
You lurked in the shadows very well.
I'm a lurker.
But you were more mischievous than most.
I would say so.
Definitely a lurker.
Yeah.
Closet degen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a result of how I was raised.
Yeah, you had to be a lurker.
Yes.
You had to be discreet.
Yes. And unfortunately, I was drawn to degeneracy by the forbidden fruit nature of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? If it's forbidden, it must be sweet.
Yes.
There must be a reason.
Yes.
It must be so good.
So I was drawn to dumb, degenerate things, and at the same time had to develop the skills to obfuscate my involvement in such activities.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
What's
yeah.
the worst thing you ever got busted for, like in high school? So you can think about it. I think mine was the time I got kicked off of ASB.
You got kicked off ASB.
So I was on ASB, Associated Student Body. It was like I don't know.
It was the sticker that I didn't pay extra money for on my student ID.
Yeah, basically. And I was in math class, and I hated my teacher, Mrs. Roach. It's just a hateable name for a teacher, too, Mrs. Roach. And it was my second year having her, because I failed the first time. So it was my second year taking calc or trig. And she sat me right in the front row because she knew what kind of student I was. You know, she wanted to keep a close eye on me.
Well,
And so
she was wrong.
no, she was definitely warranted in that decision. But actually, okay, so she had given me so many detentions, and she had this thing where if your phone, not just me, but if anyone's phone ever rang in class, she would keep it for the day. Actually, she wouldn't give it back to you till the following day. She'd keep it overnight. And I think she had maybe done it to me once or twice, and I was just salty, you know, in general. Didn't like this teacher. And I remember one day we came into class, and the door was open, it was unlocked, but she wasn't in there yet. So, you know, the students we all trickle in, sit down, kind of wait, and we're like, oh, she's late, where is she? I sit, again, I'm right in the front row, and so I'm right in front of her desk, and I look on her desk, and her purse is right there. And my gears start turning. I look around. She's nowhere to be found. And without thinking, I just open up her purse and start rummaging through it. And I find her phone. I take it out. And I immediately call my number so that I get her phone number. I've never told you this story?
I think you may have, but I'm enjoying this retelling.
So I call my number with her phone. It rings. I'm like, got it. And I put her phone back, sit down, and I go, shit, I need to delete that call. It's traceable.
Yes.
So I go back. It's like I was like straight up in like, you know, Mission Impossible. My heart's pounding at this point.
Espionage and infiltration.
So I get back into the purse, delete the call, the call record. And the second it was like just like a movie. The second I sat down and turned around, she was walking in the classroom where I literally thought, is she going to call me out right now? Because she saw me, and she didn't. And so for that week, I was calling her phone from my phone, and I had it in my pocket. And her phone, she never had her phone on silent. The ringer was always on, set high, and I interrupted her like 15 times that week in the middle of class. Just to teach her, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oh, whose phone's ringing now in the middle? Who's disrupting the class now, Mrs. Roach? How you like them apples? And I'm just like literally like 2 feet away from her because I'm sitting right next to her desk. She's like, I don't know who keeps calling me. And I was like, you know, caller ID, blocked my ID and stuff. And the next week, Monday, I come into class, and the vice principal walks in, goes, Kyle Hansen, can you come with me? And I already know. I'm just like, fuck. Someone ratted me out. Some kid ratted me out. Because the whole class like saw me going through a purse. I should have known, like, there's 30 witnesses here.
Yeah.
And so I go with the assistant principal, who was kind of like the head of he would sort of lead ASB in a way. He's like, look, we know what you did with Mrs. Rowe. We don't know how you got her phone number, but one of the students told us about what you did. And we're going to have to remove you from ASB, and you're going to be suspended for 3 days. So we need you to come to the office and call your mom and tell her to pick you up.
Oof.
So I called my mom. I was just like, yeah, you come pick me up now. I don't have to be at school for 3 days. I was like, I just didn't care. I was such a dick. My mom was just kind of rolled her. I was like, oh, Kyle. That's what my mom sounds like. Oh, how could you do that? You're so silly. My mom actually liked it, I think. She was like, oh, I get to spend time with my kid.
Yeah.
We're bonding. That's probably the worst thing I ever got busted for, which isn't that bad.
I don't think there are multiple things that I can think of that I wasn't busted for.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of those too.
I can't really put my finger on one that I was busted for.
Uh-huh, right. You were much sneakier than I was.
I was the closest that I came, and it would have been potentially catastrophic. Was I had a can of beer in my locker?
I think I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
And
where'd you get a can of beer at 17, 16?
I can't disclose that.
Ah.
Some sources remain anonymous.
Is it something you can say after the show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had just gotten my locker open, and I had something in front of it, and I moved it, so it was like back when Budweiser was like big red, white, and blue design.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm a beer can, just yelling visually, right?
Yeah, it was loud, very loud.
And right at that moment, the vice principal walks past.
Okay.
Just, and I saw him coming, and
Your soul left your body.
yeah, his gaze did not vary 1 degree from his destination. He just
Right. Nice.
beeline past,
Nice.
and I was like, ooh, that was close.
So close.
But yeah, that was definitely my closest call. I did a lot of stupid things in high school. I don't remember ever really getting, called to account for any of them.
Yeah. Squeaky clean on paper.
Except for my GPA.
No, yeah, that's a totally different story. None
Yeah.
of us got away from that one.
But nothing on your permanent record.
Right. Yeah.
What is a permanent record? Who keeps it? Who accesses it?
Maybe it affects or it shows up if you're like applying to colleges or something.
Okay,
Like,
I can see that.
He did make a pipe bomb that one year. Maybe don't let him into Virginia Tech. But we could just do full episodes of all the stupid crap we did in high school. Full episodes, back to back to back.
I have a good one, but I don't know if I have to look up the statute of limitations.
So we'll cut it off for now, and do some research on YouTube's terms of service in the meantime. Maybe Ian will come back with that story next week. But thank you guys for joining us. It's been another fun one. Again, join the Discord. Link in the description if you want to get involved with the show and help us curate some content. Already building a pretty nice community over there. Thank you to everyone who's already joined it. It's really fun so far. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next week. We'll see you in the next week. Big bang. Big bang.
Adios.
Adios.